Hello, my dears. So today I wanted to talk about rejection. I was talking with a friend recently about the difficulties of dating and honestly the difficulties of letting love find you rather than you finding love. We did open up the conversation to it is down to possibility and opportunities. He was mentioning on his side that it's easier for you because you are a woman and you aren't in the position of where you have to be the approacher. You have to be the person putting yourself out on the line, putting yourself at a near panic attack for introducing yourself to somebody that may have a really bad reaction. I was like, on the contrary, I always let my guy friends know that that's probably a stereotype that you believe in because it's not true. I have been the approacher many times. I have been rejected many times. And honestly, I understand. I understand the nervous heebie-jeebies before walking up to somebody or even just standing next to them and having made the mental decision of like, okay, like I want to do this. Am I going to? With that context alone, like outside of other people's perception, because the reason why I approach people isn't to rub it into my guy friends' faces later saying, yeah, girls do it too. It is more so for me to build a skill of, okay, I can talk to people, whoever I choose, in a manner that won't offend them. Yeah, I think now I have figured out a style as to how I approach people and how I can have a confidence to say within myself, yeah, that was respectful. That was a respectful way. I mean, I guess I have a whole video on how to approach somebody, but today's video isn't about how to approach somebody. Today's video is about rejection. When I told the stories to my guy friend about how in a handful of these interactions, I am rejected. I'm glad he didn't question my honesty. Like, he didn't say I was lying, but he did take a moment to process, like, really? Like, I think possibly what he deemed to be true, which is if a girl approaches, then they will be accepted. But I was telling him right then and there, that is a myth and it has been debunked. 1, taking it personal. With also experiencing rejection, I understand as to why it can seem personal. Like, oh, it's because of me. Once again, please watch my video on It's Not You, It's Me. The lessons that I explained from that video, I learned that if I were to approach somebody and they say no, they have only known of me for 5 seconds. There's no way that it is because of me, because it is my fault. The connection, situation, or conflict between us has not even been born yet. So it's truly just something on their end, whether it be their preference, whether it be they're already in a relationship, or whether just because they simply don't want to. Once again, all things on their side. I've learned to understand, like, oh, not to be hurt by taking it personally because it's not personal. They don't know me to a personal degree. It's just like, okay, have a nice day. 2, regret. I can see how after a failed attempt, it's like, oh, I shouldn't have even tried. I shouldn't have even done that. Like, why did I do that? I've had my fair share of those. But if we really analyze as to what part of that interaction did we regret, because it can't have been approaching the person in general. If anything, I think that's a brave choice. There has to be something more. There has to be something behind the fact that it didn't work out. Is it an insecurity of the tone that I used? Is it the nervousness that I am upset it overcame me and I didn't have control over it, but my nerves took control over me? Like, what about the interaction did I regret? Did I not feel as though I was showcasing the best version of myself? I think for a while I didn't know what the best version of myself was, therefore showcasing it to other people was even harder. But I'd say that was probably one of my most stubborn flavors of regrets when approaching people and dealing with the rejection of it. So after you analyze what part of that interaction do I actually regret, once you get down to the root of that, then you workshop it. You find an alternative that does work for you, that does ring true to yourself. And if you were to do it over and over again, you have no regret, because that is something your true self would believe in and would say. Thirdly, the goodbye. I think I want to do a whole video on ghosting, but it seems so simple for us to say our hellos, but it's so difficult for us to say our goodbyes. Even having dealt with rejection right in front of your face, you don't have to let it absorb into your spirit. You can acknowledge it and say, okay, well, thank you so much for, not like a job opportunity of where maybe like a job interview of like, thank you for this time and your consideration, and I will be taking my leave now. Giving closure to the situation helps giving closure to yourself. Also, it shows respect to the other. I think it's just good sportsmanship. Maybe that's the way how I explain it. I think it's just good sportsmanship. It's good integrity. It shows good respect. Just saying, okay, well, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Sometimes I say, have a nice life. And I had a conversation recently, and he told me that, wow, you have a really sarcastic tone. I was very shocked at that statement, because I think everything I say is so direct, like clear-cut true. But then throughout our conversation, it seems as though because of my clear-cutness, it sounds almost comedic, satirically comedic maybe. Yeah, I guess I could hear how saying, have a nice life, can sound a little sarcastic, but I do truly mean it. And yeah, I know within my heart, I mean it with true intent. Sometimes I even say, I wish you luck on life. Like, just to make it a full story, to make it its own full page in my book. And I think it just helps me with the processing and the dealing of rejection, because I am able to show to myself that, okay, I did what I could, I said what I said, I don't regret it, and I showed no anger, I showed no hatred, and I showed no grudge for their decision, because I'm sure there's points in time of where you have rejected someone or something. Like, here, try this really spicy cuisine, and at the moment you're not really feeling spicy, and it's like, I don't really think I want to try that right now. That is a form of your rejection based off of your own choice and preference. 4, separate. Separate your worth from their decision. It's alright, it's okay. Once again, they don't even know your name. They don't know who you are. For them saying no has no tie to your worth, because they don't know your worth. It's up to them to choose if they want to or not, or maybe they're just not in the situation of where they can, like I said, if they're already in a romantic relationship with someone else, or they just don't want to be in one. But yeah, separate. You know, I think it can be really easy to forget how worthy you are, especially if you don't have really good friends that just openly tell you small reminders as to why you're great. We all have to admit, it is something different when someone tells you personally, you have a good soul. You are a reliable person that I can trust. Just small affirmations, I guess is what it's called, and reminders of people telling you parts of yourself that you probably already know, but confirmation that others can see it does wonders. Therefore, I think when I have like a healthy dose, it is easier for me to deal with the rejection, because from someone that does know me and I trust their opinion and we have history of seeing my ups and downs, therefore their statements have so much more weight rather than someone that doesn't even know my name and doesn't choose to spend time with me. It's okay. I have to go now, guys. But yeah, those are my 2 cents on rejection, and I hope maybe somehow it gives you clarity and closure that You are worth it, and it's not a screw them mentality. It is just, okay, let's move on. Thank you so much, my dears, and I can't wait to see y'all in a couple of days. I wish you a big bowl of strawberries and a lungful breath of fresh air. Alright. Thank you so much, my romantics, and I will see you guys super soon.